What is up, everybody, and welcome to not the Survivor Hot Takes like our background suggests. We're actually the Survivor Buffs, coming at you with a episode is episode 10 recap.
Let's do some hot takes this episode. Why not?
I'll do a hot take. I don't care.
There we go.
I think I got some pretty hot takes. Like, this season is not doing too well after the merge. That's my hot take. But I feel like we've said that about every episode after the merge now.
Yeah, is that hot? Is that really hot?
Is that hot? I don't know. Some people are saying, man, I really like this season. Let me tell you, I tuned into Survivor Hot Takes, and they were talking good about it. They were like, 2 episodes ago, the one where we were like, oh, this is terrible. Like, they were like, oh, the season's trending upward. I was like, how are we on the same channel? I don't know.
Well, I feel like I'm in the middle because I don't hate it. I don't love it. I feel like if the season stays at the pace that it is currently at,
it'll be like a D tier season, I think.
Yeah, see, I would say C tier, but
C minus, D plus.
Yeah, C. I'll give you C minus, but
all right.
But I can name at least 5 seasons that are clearly worse, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. But still, only 5 worse than that. That means, man, let me tell you, I think at this point I might have been enjoying 41 a bit more. I
do think 41 had a better cast. As far as like players. You know what I mean?
Like, I know we were talking about this off stream, but we can say it. Why not? You know, like I know we were saying, like, I don't know, we're kind of missing that. Like, 41 had Ricard, that was kind of like the beaming light out of the darkness of the 41 cast, and everything weighed down by advantages and things like that. Like, for me this season, there's not really that person, because I guess that person would be Cody, but he's not getting too involved in the past few episodes, so I don't know.
Yeah, or like we had Nasir in 41, like, you
know, Nasir,
JD,
and Tiffany, but all kind of early exits.
JD. I mean, we had some exciting, entertaining characters. Not saying these people are boring. They're just
Vochi robbed. Just saying.
They're just 43 is a very low key cast. It feels like everybody's playing very conservatively.
They play well. They're playing pretty stupidly as well. Some make some bad moves.
The other thing is, so you say you're first.
I think to perfectly sum it up, just watch every episode's tribal council. I think I'll make a statement. Maybe this is a hot take. This season has the worst tribal councils of all time. There is not a season where the tribal councils have been worse overall. Everybody plays with their cards so close to their chest this season. They don't really reveal anything at tribal council. Let me tell you, Jeff probably squeezes that cast for an hour and a half just to get 10 minutes of salvageable footage. Because it is not, the tribal council. But that's what I'm saying. The season summed up, just watch the tribal councils. That's how it's going.
Well, the other thing with this cast is there's no one at least left. I don't really know. Yeah, no big moves have really been played. Noelle's move against James was big, but like James,
the biggest.
But like James's chances of winning were very slim. It's like she did it against. It'd be like, imagine if Russell did a big move, or like Parvati's double idol play. Imagine if they did that to get out like Courtney, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but the other thing with this season is a lot of the players are playing similar games, like Jesse, Carly, Carla, Cody. A lot of their games, like, everyone's kind of going with like a low key conservative, stay in the back type of game. All the aggressive, show all your cards players are gone.
That's what this season, that's what the new era Survivor is rewarding. You know, look at our 2 winners. Erica is probably, in my opinion, the most boring winner of all time. You know, and Marianne strategically, she didn't play too out loud. I mean, she was just a fun person, a fun TV personality. But in terms of her gameplay, it was also pretty low key.
Yeah.
It's just luckily, thank the
Until the
Lord.
end.
Thank the Lord, Marianne had a good personality, so we could finally have a winner that we could pull for. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's being rewarded in the past. So everybody's like, well, gosh, if I play out loud, I'm like Ellie. If I play out and proud and hard, then I'm just gonna end up in the Ricard Omer situation from the past 2 seasons.
It also seems like Jeff in production is promoting Survivor to nowadays be like a fun game where even though you're competing, you're also kind of like rooting for each other too, like people cheering on their opponents in immunity challenges. I'm like, you're against them. Like,
yes, absolutely,
why?
absolutely.
Why are you rooting them on?
If this season didn't have that feel like that, oh, we're all working together, Survivor's happy, go cheery. If the edit didn't reflect that, and if Jeff wasn't pushing that, then Jesse, I think, would be one of the most like recent cold-hearted villains of Survivor history. If it was like shown properly, because if you look bare bones at what Jesse has done, it has been very villainous. And I think Survivor's squandering an opportunity to paint Jesse, not as like a dick, but like he has made some cutthroat moves. But like nobody's really saying that because of how it's being pushed. Like we're all working together. Yeah, Noelle, congrats on making it through the ringer and let's all help her out. Like all that crap. Like throw it away. Give me a villain.
Right. How mad do you think Jeff was when Noelle got voted out this episode?
Oh, so mad. I know he wanted to get more challenges that would make her fall and not be able to get up so everyone else could pick her up. Like, I know he was really hoping for that in the future, and now all his dreams are squandered.
It's just like when it comes to people who have a disability like her, obviously she wasn't born with it, did she? Got to be an accident. It's like everybody, there's this push towards being more helpful and more, be more considerate of people with those disabilities. And I'm all for that. But when you treat them like they're Make-A-Wish kids all the time, it's like, why can't we just treat Noelle like a regular person? Yes, she has an injury. Yes, if she's
Noelle is a Paralympian.
Exactly. I wonder how. I hope she comes on for an interview, maybe more than anybody this season.
Yeah, I think she's like the number one person I want to talk to.
Because I want to be like, at any point, did you feel like they were treating you like? It's like they're treating her like she's like 15, 16 years old. I'm like, she's a grown woman. She has an injury. If she needs help and asks for help, help her.
She is tough. She is a warrior. She is a hero. We don't need to be reminded of it every 5 seconds.
That's what I mean, at some point. So I wrote down the things that were said to Noelle this episode. Not all of them. Just my favorite ones.
I know Gabler said you're a hero like 5 times. I know that for a fact.
Jeff said that might be the best comeback in Survivor history.
It's not, but it's okay.
Yes, Gabler said you're a hero.
More than once.
Who am I forget who said this. It was either Sammy. Sammy said you're such a warrior. And Owen said that was one of the coolest things I've seen in my entire life. Was it a good comeback? Yes. Did she give a lot of effort? Yes. Does she deserve the reward? Absolutely. Although I will say, I do think she made the wrong choice of people to go on the reward with. We'll talk about that in a second.
I would have thrown that challenge.
Yeah. Any challenge that's a private getaway with people that you pick, I feel like I would not want to win that challenge. I would rather not be picked.
I would throw it. Me and you have talked about our Survivor strategies if we went on the show. You already know my strategy. Throw every reward.
Right.
Don't win any of them, you know?
And just to be clear, what we're saying with Noelle, we both like Noelle.
I love Noelle.
It sounded like
I wish she was still on. She was very
yeah,
entertaining.
it sounded like we were both rooting for her. We thought that she was probably the most like her game got better between
Yes.
pre-merge and post-merge. Like we like Noelle, we're rooting for Noelle. What we're complaining about is how everyone is treating her. Like I'm not saying treat her normal.
Look,
Obviously,
like
she's not like obviously you have to make some exceptions, but like she's not a Make-A-Wish kid, guys. Like Olympian,
praise and uplift Noelle. The praise and uplifting things that Noelle should be hearing should be on like podcasts like this, where we watch the episode. It's not having to be pointed out how much of a hero and oh my gosh, your leg has literally detached. What's going on? Like things like that. Like it should be talked about here. We don't need to have our hand held through it and be told, oh, that's a hero, you know?
Right.
I feel like sometimes the viewers are treated like little kids, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, and obviously, if the choices are, would we rather them treat Noelle with all of this praise or be assholes to her? Obviously, we would rather them be nice and not assholes. But at some point, I mean, I don't want to speak for Noelle, but I would be shocked if at some point she wasn't like, okay, guys, like. I get it. You know, it's almost kind of like stop reminding me. I know that every time you say you're a hero, it's just reminding of I mean, again, I'm not putting words in her mouth. I'm not in her situation. I don't know anybody that's in her situation, so I don't want to speak on it too much, but just wanted to throw it out. We're not complaining about Noelle. We're complaining about how everyone keeps talking. It seems like the first 15 minutes of every post-merge episode has just been the Let's Praise Noelle show.
I mean, I don't know why they decided to do that. Maybe because like she's like the most famous person in the cast or whatever, and definitely the most interesting story.
Right. So, okay, so I get why she picked Owen and Sammy. Those are her two closest allies. Now, first of all, I remember in the good old days when Survivor was you picked one person and it was two people hanging out. And then they were like, okay, let's make it three. Now it's like half the cast just goes on a reward anyway, even though they lose. I'm like, okay, but anyway, Jesse and Owen I get, Owen and Sammy I get, but Jesse is so not her next, second, or third closest ally after that. He's with Gabler and Cody. If anything, it seems like it's Noelle, Owen, and Sammy, and then it's Gabler, Jesse, and Cody, and then Carla's kind of the middle. Is that everybody, or is there one? There was one other person.
Cassidy.
And Cassidy. So Carla and Cassidy are kind of like the middle. So I feel like she should have picked one of the middle people, but instead she picked Jesse.
I would have picked Cassidy there because if I'm Noelle, I definitely want to get Carla out. But Cassidy can be a goat, you know. Like I would have picked Cassidy and been like, "Hey, let's work together." You know, blah blah.
But Cassidy wouldn't have turned on Carla.
Yeah, right. But you could use Cassidy to get out Cody, Jesse, and Gabler.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I would have rather done that than Jesse. I mean, I feel like Cassidy or Carla would have been smarter. You can make your pick which one of those two, but to pick Jesse just seemed really dumb to me. And
I guess it shows like he had that little confessional where he went through and was like, "This is the social connections I have with everyone." Like, I guess it just proves like he does have those social connections.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason you would pick Jesse is if they wanted to flip him, but there was no way they would have flipped him. They honestly had a better chance of flipping Gabler, but they didn't take. I don't know. It was just here's what's actually interesting. What I noticed in this game, because while they were showing Noelle on the reward, at the same time, they were showing Cassidy make moves. Finally, I mean, it didn't end up coming into fruition, but they showed Cassidy making moves on the islands. And what I realized is Noelle and Cassidy are almost like two completely opposite players. And here's what I mean. I feel like Cassidy has a great game awareness. I feel like Cassidy knows where everybody stands, who everybody wants out at all times. She's always been on the right side of the vote, unless I'm forgetting wrong. However, Cassidy does nothing with that awareness. She just kind of coasts. She's always like, she'll have her confessionals and she'll say everything correctly. She's never really been wrong, but she doesn't do anything with that information. She just kind of sits there and lets other people make moves. Noelle, on the other chance, has been making moves. She's been making people flip. She's been like Carla on James. She's been doing moves. She's the only one to use an advantage this season, and she did it correctly. Right. She's making moves, but she has no awareness at all of the game. She picked Jesse for some dumb reason. She voted out James for some dumb reason, which obviously came to haunt her in this episode. So her and Cassidy are almost completely different sides, which obviously Cassidy has outlasted her. Just goes to show, I feel like if I was playing Survivor, I would value game awareness over, big strategic moves, because if you have no awareness, those big strategic moves not only mean nothing, they actually can have a negative effect, an inverse effect. Nice Christmas tree, by the way.
Thank you.
Is there a star on top, or?
It's a Survivor buff on top, actually.
I was just about to say you should put a buff on top. I can't really see it, though.
It's the 41.
Okay. Oh, I just realized. Do we have a 43 merge buffs yet on CBS?
Probably. I haven't even looked.
Oh man, we gotta
I'll probably get it as a stocking stuffer, so I'm not gonna buy it.
Oh, I'm just kidding. We should do that. Because we are. I guess
I have my buffs.
At some point, gonna do a buff. What do you call it? Rally? What do you call that? No, raffle.
Raffle.
We'll do a buff raffle. So yes, I guess I'll plug ourselves here, guys. If you want to be a part of our buff raffle, we'll announce it probably towards the end of the season, maybe next episode after that. If you become a member of the channel, you have a really, really stronger chance of every year. The winner of the buff raffle so far every season has been a member, because you get like extra tickets in the raffle. If you want to become a member, you also get a chance to sit in on our interviews with contestants, past contestants and current contestants, both of the like. You also get early access to interviews. Sometimes we'll like when we did our Nasir interview, I think we did it like a week before, and members could see it for a week as well as sit in on it if they wanted to. But bunch of other stuff. Becoming a member, all you got to do is go to the channel's main page and hit join at the top. You get to see all the perks you get. There's different levels. Subscribe, obviously, like the video, please. Subscribe to our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Discord, all the links to which are in the description. Okay, I know last time I said the only way I could win this fantasy league was if I got every single person, or I'm sorry, if the final three was Jesse, Carla, and Owen.
It could be.
So far, 1 for 1. I have Noelle out. So the next 4 in any order voted out need to be, or I guess the next 3 voted out need to be Sammy, Cody, Gabler, or Cassidy. And then the loser of the fire making challenge has to be the other one, which is not impossible.
Man,
if the final 3 is, I feel like at this point, if Jesse is in the final 3, he's a lock.
You think?
Unless Carla makes a big move.
Yeah, Carla has to do something.
But the thing is, if Carla does a big move, the only person that big move could be against to make it worth it would be Jesse. Maybe Cody.
Yeah, maybe Cody. You could make... I know one thing. I know one thing about these remaining group of people is that nobody's stock is as low as Owen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty low. Nobody's stock has plummeted in the last 2 episodes more than Carla.
True.
She went
Carla's stock's
from-
definitely going down.
She went from top to probably number.
Look, let me tell you, dude. Gabler can still win this thing.
He's no.
He can. He can.
No.
He absolutely can. Gabler can still win. A la Gabler is coming out, dude.
No.
Trust me. He's gonna make a move on Jesse or Cody.
No. No. I think Nika has a better chance of winning. Who do you think is, if you're Jesse right now? Who is your optimal final 3?
Myself, Jesse, Cassidy, I think, and then Owen, or Jesse, Sammy, Owen. Because actually, yeah, I would say not Cassidy, because Cassidy, she could get like that a few female votes, you know, like not to be sexist or anything, but you know, sometimes we've seen it happen in Survivor where it's like, oh, girls got to support girls. Like, I don't know, I'd be kind of scared of that happening. So, especially with these group of people, it could definitely happen. So, I'd say, yeah, Jesse, Sammy, Owen. I think Jesse unanimously wins.
One thing we're forgetting is Jesse playing the best game of everybody on that's still left. Absolutely. However, if Jesse and Cody make it to the final 3 together,
they could split votes.
Well, here's the other thing too. Jesse is a good player, but sometimes he's not the best talker. Cody's a salesman.
Right. Cody's just likable.
He's more likable than Jesse. I mean, Jesse is likable, but I think Cody, even though I think Jesse's playing a decently better game than Cody, I honestly might think Cody could win if he makes it to the end against Jesse.
We've seen final tribals win games, and that could be the case if Cody gets to the end. He hasn't revealed to everyone that he's a salesman, an elevator salesman.
Right.
So it could be.
Right. I still think, even though Carla's stock has gone down a little bit, Jesse, Carla, Cody would be the best final 3 in the show's history.
In the show's history.
Final 3.
Stronger than Michelle, Natalie, Tony?
Yeah.
Stronger than Poverty, Russell, Sandra?
I mean, okay, fine. Best final 3 in a newbie season. Because Sandra won, but she was like,
Sandra shouldn't have won. Poverty should have won, but that's a video for another day.
Or we could just morph into talking about that for the rest of the episode.
Call Russell. Get him on here.
I was going to say, what were your thoughts on that whole Jesse plan, the 4-part plan thing? Because I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I liked the list. He executed it. And then, you know, the whole time you're thinking like, wow, if Noelle actually goes home, like, that's a huge edit, like, bump up for Jesse, like, because Jesse just took up most of the, you know, pre-tribal talk with his little plan.
Yeah.
And if it actually comes to fruition, then you're like, you know, and the whole time I was low-key thinking, I was like, there's no way this goes off without a hitch. I was like, there's no freaking way. But it did.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
Gable.
I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I mean, he's definitely MVP of the episode.
Oh,
I think.
Without a most clear-cut MVP of the episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's probably the most clear. Now, LVP, I think most clear-cut LVP as well, going to Owen.
Yeah. The only wrench possibly thrown in Jesse's plans was the fact that Gabler kind of called him out and kind of saw what he was doing. He didn't really act upon it, but it seems like he might next episode. Which honestly, as good as Jesse's plan was, when it came to Gabler, it's like he's still kind of like Gabler's obviously not a great Survivor player, but he's not dumb. He's not dumb at all. Like he does have good game awareness. He might not have good like social awareness, like how his position is. He doesn't have a good self awareness, but he has good outer awareness, I guess. So Jesse's biggest mistake, in my opinion, of his plan was that he kind of just told Gabler what to do. As opposed
That yeah,
to,
exactly. And I had been praising Jesse up to this point of like the thing I always say you need to do in Survivor, which is planting the seeds and then making sure other people think it's their ideas when it was really yours. If you boss people around, then they aren't going to want to work with you because they think you're a boss. You know, what he should have done is planted a seed with Gabler and then make Gabler suggest a Noelle vote. He tried to lead into it this episode by saying like, we're all in agreement that Noelle, like, we cannot go to the end with her and we need to strike now because every time we go up against her, she just comes back stronger. Like, that's basically just telling him we're voting Noelle. You know, I think that there could be a way in which you go about that a little less harsh.
Yeah. Or make him think he came up with the idea himself.
Yeah.
You know.
Which you can definitely do with Gabler. You can definitely convince Gabler he came up with the idea.
And look, I still don't think Gabler has anything more than a 1% chance of winning. However, the dude has been on the right side of the numbers every vote. People have said in confessionals, oh, Gabler's a wild card. Oh, he's lazy around camp. But he's pretty much never been brought up once as a potential vote out. And he has no votes cast against him the entire game.
He made a big move at the merge-atory thing, right?
I still don't give Gabler credit for that move. I know you do.
And then he said, I'm gonna go back under the radar. And then when Ollie Gabler needs to come back up, he's coming back up. And let me tell you, next episode it's gonna be all Gabler. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh. So okay, Tribal Council, super exciting. Blah blah blah. The other interesting thing about Tribal, you want to talk about Jeff being pissed that Noelle went home. He didn't give us a quote. You know,
I was watching it with my mom, and my mom hadn't seen a single episode of the entire season. We just watched that episode together because my mom was here for Thanksgiving. And when Noelle went home and he said, all right, pack up your bags, head back to camp, good night. She turned at me and she said, wow, Jeff is mad. I was like, yeah, he is mad for sure. Like,
yeah. Who won immunity this episode? Why am I blanking? Was it Cassidy?
No, fudge. It was.
Yeah, it was Cassidy. The stacking the cards. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Cassidy. Yeah.
Different immunity winner every single episode so far. No one.
Yeah, nobody's a challenge beast per se, you know.
And I'm gonna pull who still hasn't won immunity? Sammy,
Jesse,
and Sammy and Owen. So in theory, if there's 3 challenges left, well, this could be the first season.
Owen has won immunity.
Okay, so Jesse and Sammy. Could be a thing where the final challenge is everybody's different winners. Carla won.
Yeah, right? Carla had the Mickey Mouse win with because there were 2 tribes.
As far as the challenge itself, it's like, okay, it was interesting, but I've just given up any hope that Survivor is going to make new challenges. I'm like,
I just want to see him freaking mud wrestle. Dang it.
I'm just like, like you literally have, and it's not just the English speaking. Don't forget that there's a French Survivor. There's like a Norway Survivor.
And guess what's coming soon? Survivor Britain.
Coming back. They did 3 seasons. I think.
Now casting. Coming back, yeah.
Oh, the casting, are they?
Oh yeah, they're gonna say hi to their little dead queen.
Might have to take a little dip across the pond and see my chums over there, and maybe
instead of rice and a machete, they get tea and crumpets.
Oh, okay. Anyway, now that we see how far Carla's stock has fallen, are we in agreement? Because we didn't fully disagree, but it seemed like I was a lot more adamant that she should have saved James with her idol. What do you think?
I feel like she should have if she could have, but I just think that if she did that, then she makes 3 enemies and she was scared to do it. But I don't know, because you just got to consider. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she should have. I'd say why not. I don't think her name's gonna get thrown out. Yeah, I don't see her name
I don't
getting
think she's
thrown
seen as a
out
threat.
before 5. Yeah, I don't think she's seen as. I don't see her as a threat anymore. The only people that think she's gonna win are those delusional Twitter stands.
Again, unless she makes a big move against Jesse or Cody.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, MVP obviously Jesse.
Obviously Jesse. LVP obviously Owen. Owen, let me tell you, man. I've never seen like somebody. I thought Janine was bad. Man, Owen is even worse. Like this is probably the worst. Let me tell. Everybody was so high on Owen, and I was just like, I don't see it. And the only reason you like Owen is because he watches Rob Has a Podcast. Let me tell you, if he watched Survivor Buffs, he might had half a brain on him, because this is the worst individual performance of a person that's made it this far that I can remember in recent memory. I mean, this guy's just playing like an absolute wimp.
The only time he was on the right side of the vote was when Noelle made her big steal a vote move. And he didn't even vote that episode.
He couldn't vote! He got his vote stolen!
Right. By his own teammate.
That guy, the only way he could, like, make a pitch to win is he's just like, well, this is not the game I wanted to play, but, man, I crawled my way up. I was always on the wrong side of the numbers, but I still, like, trudged through. Like, I don't know. Something like that, but...
Is there any path to victory for Owen or Sammy to win?
Sammy, I think, has the lowest chance of winning. I think he's allergic to moves, and he's seen as a flip-flopper.
Yeah.
I think Owen has a better chance than Sammy, but Owen's playing a worse game.
Right. But is there any path to victory? Like, is there anything they can realistically do to win that you can see?
Owen would have to... I think he needs to win out immunity, like lose all of his allies, and be seen as like a lone wolf facing these elitist snobs of Jesse and Cody. It's like a Mike situation. You know what I mean? Like Mike from One World. That's it. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah. Oh, from Worlds Apart.
Yeah, Worlds Apart. Sorry.
And then Sammy, any path to victory?
0.
Nothing he can do. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Cody, I feel like if Cody makes it to the end, he wins.
That's an interesting take from you. I still feel like Jesse beats him, but not by a lot.
Yeah, I feel like they've done everything together, so it's hard to differentiate their games.
I think if there were Vegas betting odds of who, if you could put Vegas betting odds on 2 players that would for sure one of them is making fire, I would say Jesse or Cody. 95% chance one of them is going to go to fire.
Well, and here's the thing: if Cody is chosen, let's say Jesse wins final immunity, and he pits Cody against who cares in fire. I feel like that's him giving his basically giving the game to Cody. Because Cody seems to be the fire.
You would have to. That's when you got to go ballsy and just be like, "I'll make fire against him," you know. But I don't know if Jesse would do that.
Or let Cody sit.
True. But the 2 people who have sat, Marianne and Erica.
Facts. So the thing with clearly the win in fire making isn't.
No. If that was the case, Mike would have won, and then Xander would have won. You know?
Unless you put yourself in fire. That's the only way you can add fire making victory to your resumes. If you put yourself in that spot against, and it has to be against a formidable foe. Jesse can't be like, oh, I put myself against Cassidy. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there. So the reason I'm picking Cody over Jesse is not because I think he's playing a better game, but just because I think he will have a really good final tribal. So, although we also thought that Culpepper would destroy Lucina in Game Changers in Final Tribal because he's a NFL player with a lot of charisma, and he's like now he's a lawyer who's never lost in court, and Sarah smoked him. So maybe it ain't all that. Any path to victory for Gabler or Cassidy?
Gabler has a path to victory, despite what you say. And it'll start with him making a move, solely making a move, being the instigator of the move on Cody or Jesse.
If he got Jesse out next episode, not only is that getting out the best player in the season, it's also eliminating 2 idols.
And let me tell you, this might be weird, but if I was Gabler, I might bring Carla and Cassidy to the end with me.
I don't think that's weird.
Because I think they split votes. And I also think, like, those two are the same, and Gabler can be like, I'm way different than these two. Like, I made big moves, and I'm here at the end still. Of course, I think Gabler gets to the final 3 through fire, if he does get to the final 3. I don't think he wins a puzzle challenge. So that could also be something for Gabler. For Cassidy, I don't really give her a shot.
Yeah. So Owen has a better shot than Cassidy at this point?
Low key, yes, because Owen's just like, he could just be like, I'm sloppy, I've never been on the right side of the numbers, blah, 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 blah. But I've crawled my way to the end despite being the underdog. Cassidy can't really ever say she was the underdog. You know, she was spoon-fed the pre-merge.
Yeah.
And then after the merge, she hasn't really done anything yet.
As far as Cassidy's path to victory, I'm sorry, for a Carla path to victory for me, she would have to use her idol to get either Jesse or Cody out.
Yeah.
Because at this point now, Noelle was the glue holding the Sammy, Owen, Noelle alliance together, despite what Sammy might think, and she was the life preserver for their 2 games. Now Sammy and Owen are just sitting ducks at this point. However, if Carla gets either Jesse or Cody out, either one, preferably Jesse because he has the 2 idols, she has, I still think Carla and Sammy are close. She could pull together Sammy and she already has Cassidy, which means Carla, Sammy, and Cassidy versus Owen, Cody, and Gabler. But Owen is basically locked with Sammy. So wherever Sammy goes, it sounds like Owen goes. So long story short, if Carla can pull together a move next episode to get out either Jesse or Cody, all she has to do is get her alliance of 4 to vote out Gabler the next episode, and then Cody or Jesse, whichever one is remaining the next episode, and then
Let me tell you.
I almost think the only way she loses is if she loses fire. At that point.
If I'm Jesse, I'll end. I agree with you, and I'll end the strategy talk with, if I was Jesse, 100% next tribal council, I am playing my idol. I would 100% play it. Because now the numbers are all flipped up and you don't know where people are, you know? And then that gets you to 7.
Does he play his idol or Cody's
that gets
idol?
you to 6. No, Cody has his idol. Wait, Cody doesn't have it as a bag. I don't know. I think you play your idol first and then you somehow try to convince Cody, like, hey, let me hang on to it.
Or play Cody's idol and be like, sorry, man, I needed to. And then he still has his that no one knows about.
Well, you could. I mean, you could. If he knew Cody was going home, he could just let it happen too. But
yeah, I mean, Cody might be mad for a second, but you know, I mean, if Cody still hasn't asked for his idol back yet at this point, I feel like it's because he kind of sees it as an idol for both of them to use. So,
Sure.
but last question: if you had to put your money on one person right now to win, who's the most likely to win? I'll say. I mean, I've said Carla since like episode 4, but at this point, I'm going to go with my preseason pick and go back to Jesse as the winner.
That's who my money would be on as well. I'd still say Jesse.
But I do think that Carla has a chance. I do think Cody has a chance. I'll give Gabler a 5% chance. Sammy, Owen, and
Make
Cassidy,
it 10.
No. Okay, that's it for the episode. I guess we'll see you guys next week.
LIVIN.